Hi. I figured if we were going to do yoga from home, we might as well learn some postures and the intricacies in them. Okay, we'll start with half moon. Oh, step to the middle of your mat. I'm more than likely going to start with standing postures because, quite frankly, I can't figure out how to set my camera up yet in order to do postures to the side. So we'll do a bunch of standing postures first. Half moon, step to the center of your mat. And even if you are taking this posture to get a little bit of a stretch in the morning, first thing in the morning, or after a run, or maybe it's inside of a yoga practice, I do want you to look down at your feet and see where your feet are and where you're placing your toes, where you're placing your heels. Once you have a good stance, whether your feet are all the way together or not, I'm good with either one. Pull inward, allow your body to squeeze tight. Close your belly, which I call the gate. You have muscles on either side right here, and I want you to pull them in, closing down the transverse abdominis. Close the gate and then lock it into place. Roll the shoulders down and back, your belly's pulled in. Take both arms up overhead, interlace the fingers, release the index fingers. Now here's something yogi-ish for you. I want you to point your pointer fingers, if your hands are like this, interlaced. The majority of the time, we're gonna go like this, okay? Let's see. Do you see how my wrist is kind of cocked there in order to have my fingers go up to the sky? I want your wrist straight. So your fingers are gonna go more towards an 11 o'clock rather than a 12 o'clock or a 1 o'clock, okay? So 11 o'clock. Middle finger is the one that goes up to the sky. You've planted down, your belly's in, your arms come up, you're squeezing the biceps by the ears. Now that doesn't mean that you might have some space at the neck. I would actually like for you to have some space at the neck to allow for a long neck. I don't want you here sinking your neck down inside the body. There's a difference between this and this, right? I want a long neck and your arms come up to the neck. They come up to the shoulders, okay? Arms come up, palms squeezing tight, belly's pulled in. Now this alone might be a thing for you, right? Just being able to hold your arms 30 seconds over your head in this position, that's a big deal. This is what it looks like to the side. My butt is still my butt. It's behind me. Middle butt is still out. I have a natural curve of the spine. I'm squeezing in at the lower belly. The shoulders are not necessarily down, but my latissimus dorsi, the muscle on my back, the long guy, is engaged. Arms are lifted, arms are pulling in tight to the ears. All right, so now that you've seen it to the side, to go into half moon, bump your hip over to the left. I'm gonna mirror you guys. So you bump your hip over to the left, I'm bumping it to the right, and then take the upper body over to the right. So I'm mirroring you. Belly's still in. I've got the weight in my heels, maybe even lifting the toes up to see where the weight is in the body. As I push my hip over to your left and the upper body goes over to the right, squeeze the palms together, use your right hand to pull the left arm up and over. This stretch, I'm engaging at the obliques on the right side. Remember, I'm mirroring you on the right side, and I'm stretching through the left side. The arms are lengthening out through the body. This half moon shape is from your pointer finger on the left all the way out to your right, all the way to the right finger, to your left hip, down to your right heel. That's the shape of the half moon. Once you've held it, maybe you count to 20, come back up, and then switch the grip of your hands. Go to a funky grip. Pull your fingers to 11 o'clock. Lift up and out, pulling the arms into the ears. Bump your hip over to the right, and then the upper body goes over to the left. Now, if you perhaps leave your hips in, do you see the difference between this and this? This right here, when I don't bump my hip over, although it is a fantastic stretch right through below the underarm through your serratus, I want the stretch to elongate down through the hip. So I need to pull my right hip over to the right in order to get the good stretch. All right, half moon, hold it on that side for a count of 20. Try not to rush it, right? And pull the arms back up through. You can always lower your outer arms down to the side, let it go, give it a little shaky poo, maybe give yourself a little picture and send it to me of you doing the half moon. And do both sides maybe twice, right? If you have a Bikram practice, you'd be doing your half moon twice. If you have a hot yoga practice, in Yoga 90, we do it twice. In Yoga 60, we do it once. All right, flow, we do it once. Giving yourself this opportunity to stretch through the side of the body will feel oh so good. All right, so that's today's posture, half moon. I'll see you tomorrow.